What if I told you that the biggest predictor of happiness isn't wealth, intelligence, or success, but something much simpler? Our relationships. Decades of research show that the quality of our social connections directly affects our mental health, longevity, and even how we perceive pain. In this video, we'll explore the fascinating science behind social bonds, their impact on our well-being, and how to cultivate meaningful relationships, even in a busy digital world. And if you want to dive deeper, I'll also introduce a couple of books that provide research-backed strategies to help you build stronger, healthier connections. Let's get started. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's crucial to our well-being, the power of human connection. One of the longest-running studies on happiness, the Harvard Study of Adult Development, has been tracking people for over 80 years. And you know what they found? It's not about the money, the fame, or the achievements. Their conclusion? Strong relationships make us happier, healthier, and even help us live longer. Think about it. When you're going through tough times, who do you turn to? Who celebrates your victories with genuine joy? It's those close connections that provide a buffer against stress, a shoulder to cry on, and a source of unwavering support. In fact, people with deep, fulfilling relationships tend to experience less stress, better cognitive health, and even a lower risk of chronic diseases. We're social creatures at our core, hardwired to crave connection and belonging. It's in our DNA. But here's the thing, not all relationships are created equal. Just being surrounded by people isn't enough. We need those deep, meaningful connections to truly thrive. So how do we cultivate those kinds of relationships? That's what we're going to explore in this video. We interact with dozens of people daily, right? The barista at the coffee shop, colleagues at work, that guy who always comments on your Instagram posts. But how many of these interactions actually make you feel seen and heard? How many leave you feeling energized and understood? Here's the thing. Our brains crave depth, not just breadth, in our connections. Research suggests that deep, meaningful conversations, the kind where you can be vulnerable, share your true self, and feel truly listened to, trigger the release of oxytocin. You know, that hormone linked to trust and bonding? It's like a chemical hug for your brain. On the flip side, shallow interactions, those filled with small talk and surface-level chatter, often leave us feeling empty and disconnected. It's like eating a bag of chips when what you really crave is a nourishing meal. And you know what? This distinction between deep and shallow connections is so important that former US Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy dedicated an entire book to it. In Together: The Healing Power of Human Connection in a Sometimes Lonely World, Dr. Murthy explores how loneliness has become a modern epidemic affecting people from all walks of life. And the kicker? He offers actionable strategies to combat this loneliness epidemic and build stronger, more meaningful connections. So, if you've ever felt socially drained despite being surrounded by people, if you find yourself scrolling through social media feeling more isolated than ever, this book is a must-read. Trust me, it's a game changer. Okay, let's get real for a second. Loneliness isn't just an emotion, it's a biological stressor. It impacts our physical health in profound ways. Studies show that chronic loneliness increases cortisol levels, which is basically the stress hormone. And chronically high cortisol? Not good. It can actually shrink the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. And it gets worse. Lonely individuals are at a higher risk of dementia and cardiovascular diseases. It's like loneliness is slowly chipping away at our health, increasing the risk of serious health problems down the line. So if you've been feeling isolated, if you've been brushing off those feelings of loneliness, it's not just in your head. It's a real, physical health risk that deserves our attention. We need to start treating loneliness with the same seriousness we treat other health concerns. Because the truth is, our social well-being is just as important as our physical well-being. They're intertwined, interconnected, and we can't neglect one without impacting the other. Ever noticed how being around an anxious person makes you feel uneasy? Or how a friend's excitement can be contagious? You walk into a room, and suddenly, you're swept up in the mood, even if you were feeling completely different just moments before. That, my friends, is the fascinating phenomenon of emotional contagion. Our brains are wired to mimic the emotions of those around us, thanks to these amazing things called mirror neurons. These neurons fire both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing that same action. It's like our brains are trying to bridge the gap between ourselves and others, creating a shared emotional experience. This means that the company we keep literally shapes our mental state. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, stress, and anxiety, guess what? Your brain is going to soak that up like a sponge. But here's the good news. The opposite is also true. If you surround yourself with positive, supportive, and uplifting people, your brain will mirror those emotions too. It's like emotional osmosis, and it's happening all the time, whether we're conscious of it or not. So if you want to feel happier, if you want to cultivate a more positive mindset, start by being mindful of the emotional energy you're surrounding yourself with. Let's talk about the elephant in the room: technology. Social media has redefined how we connect, how we build relationships, and how we interact with the world around us. But is it making us happier? Well, it's complicated. On the one hand, social media can be a great tool for staying in touch with friends and family who live far away. It can help us connect with people who share our interests and passions. But on the other hand, research from the University of Pennsylvania found that people who limit social media to 30 minutes a day experience less depression and anxiety. Why is that? Well, for starters, social media often presents a highly curated, filtered version of reality. We see everyone else's highlight reels, their vacations, their achievements, their picture-perfect lives, and it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. And then there's the constant barrage of negativity. The news, the drama, the negativity bias that seems to permeate so much of online discourse. Here's the bottom line. While technology can help us stay connected, it should never replace real-life relationships. Face-to-face interactions trigger more dopamine and oxytocin, making them far more fulfilling than any online interaction could ever be. So, put down your phone, step away from the screen, and go have a real conversation with someone you care about. Your brain will thank you. We're all busy. We're juggling work, family, hobbies, side hustles, and trying to squeeze in some semblance of a social life. But here's the truth. Meaningful relationships require effort. They require time, energy, and a conscious decision to prioritize connection. So, how do we cultivate meaningful relationships in a world that often feels designed to keep us apart? First, prioritize quality over quantity. A few deep friendships are more valuable than dozens of acquaintances. It's about having those people you can call at 2 a.m., the ones who know your deepest fears and celebrate your smallest victories. Second, schedule time for social interactions, just like you would for work or fitness. Put it in your calendar, make it a non-negotiable, and stick to it. And finally, be present. Put your phone away, silence the notifications, and truly engage in conversations. Listen actively, ask meaningful questions, and be fully present in the moment. Building strong relationships takes effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. It's an investment in your happiness, your health, and your overall well-being. Want an instant happiness boost? Want to feel more connected to your community? It's simpler than you might think. Help someone. Seriously, it's that easy. A study published in the Journal of Happiness Studies found that people who perform small acts of kindness, like buying coffee for a stranger, helping an elderly neighbor carry groceries, or writing a heartfelt message to a friend, experience higher levels of dopamine and serotonin. These acts of kindness don't have to be grand gestures. It's the small, everyday actions that can make a big difference, both in the lives of others and in our own well-being. And you know what? Helping others can also boost our confidence and social skills. It forces us to step outside of our comfort zones, to engage with the world around us, and to build connections with people we might not otherwise interact with. If you're looking for practical ways to strengthen your social skills, to become more comfortable in social situations, and to cultivate a more magnetic personality, I highly recommend checking out The Charisma Myth by Olivia Fox-Cabane. It's a fantastic read that breaks down the science of social influence and teaches you how to be more charismatic and engaging in any situation. Trust me, it's a game changer. At the end of the day, happiness isn't found in material success. It's found in the quality of our relationships. So take the time to nurture the connections that truly matter. Call a friend, schedule a coffee date, put down your phone and have a real conversation. These small actions can have a profound impact on your well-being. And if you want to go deeper, check out the books Together by Dr. Vivek Murthy and The Charisma Myth by Olivia Fox-Cabane, both linked in the description. They're packed with science-backed insights and practical strategies to help you build stronger, more meaningful connections. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more science-backed insights on well-being. See you in the next video.